Brilliance Audio presents the unabridged recording of Pretty Dead by Frasier, performed by Natalie Ross. Chapter 1. He was hooked on death. No shame in that, Geoffrey Nightingale always told himself. At this point, the body count was so high, and his appetite for murder so strong, that he'd lost track of how many lives he'd ended. One thing he did know: the more he killed, the more he wanted to kill. Profilers called it escalation. Nightingale called it addiction to the quest for pleasure. Some people did crack or meth or heroin. He killed. They made it so easy, the cops. Early on, Nightingale had learned to shift and change his M.O. He wasn't an idiot who adhered to the ritual and the pattern. Sure, he'd prefer it that way, but he took his drugs any way he could get them. If that meant switching things up to maintain his high, so what? The high was what counted. And another thing. When you'd been killing for so damn long, it got boring if you didn't add some variety, if you didn't experiment. Because where was the buzz in doing the same kill over and over? He'd never understood that. He kept ahead of investigators with false clues, and by moving from city to city. Hell, they thought his kills were committed by several different guys. That cracked him up. But now winter had hit with a vengeance. He was sick of snow, and he'd decided to head south. Winter made everything harder, including murder. The city he'd chosen as his next home wasn't big, not by Philadelphia standards anyway. It didn't have a huge police force, had no substantial FBI presence. It would suit him for a while. Maybe a year, maybe 2. How many kills could he get in before they figured out the murders were connected? He was betting 5 or 6. How many before they started getting the least bit close to catching him? That would never happen. He was too smart and had been in the business too long. A pro didn't approach this stuff blindly. He didn't just pack up the car and head out. It took careful planning. It took fake IDs. It took a new persona. It took an in-depth study of the other team. From his spot in the Philadelphia coffee shop, Nightingale clicked his laptop keys and pulled up an article he'd already read several times. A piece about a woman named Elise Sandburg, who'd been made head detective of the Savannah Police Department. The article included a photo of her.
Sample complete. Ready to continue?